Hi everybody, I'm Robert Salter the Owl Man, and not only do I love owls but I love gardening for wildlife. The garden's looking really good at the moment, so I'd just like to give you a tour of the garden. This part of the garden is what we call the patio garden because it's closest to the house. So we'll start off here and then we'll work our way down. These raised beds here are right next to the house, and when we first moved in this was just an area of concrete. So rather than dig up the concrete, I just put these raised beds in here, and now they're just filled with whatever plants we wish to plant. But as you can see, the red valerian has really taken over here, so we just let it be. It all just sells seeds. It's a really nice plant is this red valerian, especially for the hummingbird hawk moth, so it's worth having around just to see those. Here we've got some pink geranium, really good for the bees. Nice fuchsia, lovely foliage. As you can see, these foxgloves here, they're just going over now, but it was looking absolutely great last week. These are the patio borders. When we first moved in the house, these borders were really small in size to the actual patio. So what we did is we extended them so that we could get a lot more plants in. All they are just upturned sleepers that form the border. This plant here, it's just coming into flower. This is pink achillea. Looks absolutely gorgeous, and it flowers a long time as well, so it's really good to have in the garden. There at the back we've got some salvia. There's all different types of salvia. I don't claim to be an expert on them. Foxgloves, oxeye daisies. That's a lovely foxglove there. And this plant here, I believe it's water figwort, but when it comes into flower, it's just an absolute magnet for bees and other flowers. It's fantastic. Really is a good plant to have in a wildlife garden. So we've got some rudbeckia coming up. These look really good in the summer months. They're just starting to flower now. So I'll give an update next month on this border. Here we have some pots just in the centre of the patio. Adds a real lot of nice colour to the patio garden. That's a lovely contrast of colour, is that? Got some nice toad flax there. That's a lovely plant. And here we've got the other side of the patio. Got all your Mexican daisies there. Large fennel, starting to come into flower. We've got salvias. Lavender, really great for the bees. This is a favourite plant of mine, Lysimachia. Absolutely gorgeous. Got the red geum there. More red valerian. Eleniums just coming into flower there. Nice choisia. Look at that lovely contrast. Buddleia. What we've tried to create in this garden is a long flowering period. So we've got the flowering starts here as early as December. We didn't just want a garden that just looks good in the spring and then nothing really flowering in the summer. So that's what we've created, just a long flowering garden. This is what we call a stepping stone garden. Look at that lovely blue delphinium. Absolutely gorgeous. Got meadow rue here. Really nice foxglove. White alliums. Crocosmia there. Yet to come into flower. This is a really favourite plant of mine, cowslip. It's gone over now, but the foliage keeps nice all year round and refreshes itself, and it will also reflower as well. So it's a really good plant to have as a backdrop. Just great to like fill in gaps, and it really does its thing. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be getting a lot more of this cowslip. We've got alliums, looking really good at the moment. These are all just self-seeding everywhere. This is a form of marigold, this lovely orange plant here. As you can see, we've got another delphinium. Looking really nice. This is the second part of the stepping stone garden. Nice lovely berberis there. So all the plants in this garden are all for bees and butterflies. Everything has a job to do. I don't claim to know all the names of the plants, but as you can see, they all have a good wildlife value. One of the first jobs I did in this garden when we moved in was to build this walkway, and it's got a evergreen honeysuckle there. Two different types of honeysuckle, but it's great for birds to get in and nest. Had blackbirds nesting in here, and at the moment we have a wood pigeon. You can just see the back end of her there. This is what we call the bug garden. We call it the bug garden because it's just where anything goes really. We just put like these bricks out, bits of pavers and stuff, just for all the wood lice, centipede, millipede, a lot of creatures that are just overlooked really, just to give them a permanent home. They're not going to be disturbed here. Because as you know, all you have to do is lift up a brick or a bit of paver and there's hundreds of woodlice underneath it. So this is just somewhere where they can be without being disturbed. And it's great for bears to forage around here looking for insects and invertebrates. Nice fern there. Hosta. This is the wood store. We often get a blackbird nesting in here. We've got a gas tank here because we're not on mains gas, but this Harvey's doing a really good job of covering it up. Here we've got the greenhouse. This is Sue's department. Had some great strawberries this year. Lots of them. Where previous years we've struggled to grow any. But we're doing really well this year. Here we've got brambles that are just coming into flower, soon to produce fruit. Great for the blackbirds. This is a tayberry. It's really hard to get any berries off here because as soon as they're ripe the blackbirds have them. But that's absolutely fine by us, that's what it's all about. This pond here is the first wildlife pond that we built in the winter of 2018. I actually dug out this pond with a sprained ankle. But when I'm enthusiastic and I've got something on my mind, it just has to be done no matter what. And it's been great over the years for wildlife as this. It's got crested newts in it, newts, frogs, toad, grass snakes in here. Just really good just to sit by on a nice spring summer's day and just watch the wildlife. So we've got a harbour seat there that I made. This is what we call the woodland border. It's a border that spends its time in quite a lot of shade. So there's a lot of shade loving plants in here. All the ivy on this fence here was all planted by us just to give great cover for wildlife. And it also covers up any boundaries that you have. But as you can see, all these buttercups here, they've all just self-seeded themselves. Which we don't mind. We like to see like naturalised borders. The best looking borders are ones that have just like done their own thing to an extent. Got all this ribwort plantain, which is all just self-seeded. That's found by us. All these geraniums here, got lots of bees on. Lovely colour. Here we've got this raised bed. Just made from pallets. As you can see, we've got a lovely loop in there. Lots of nice foxgloves. When we first moved in this garden, we did buy some foxgloves and plant them, but they've just self-seeded and they've done their own thing. All these aqualegias, they're just going over now. They give a really good display every year. Some grasses there. Just adds a bit of structure to the border. Back to the woodland border. This Paracamphor here, we've planted it right down the garden up against the fence, and it's just looking really good at the moment. The aroma of it is just absolutely gorgeous, and it's great for the bees. Here we're just starting to get some rose campion. That's a really lovely plant, is that? Really pink fluorescent flower, absolutely gorgeous, with a grey-green foliage. Valerian. It's all a rose campion here. It's all going to start coming into flower in the next week. As you can see, Paracamphor is looking absolutely gorgeous. If you look closely down there, you can see a mallard on eggs, sitting pretty, just right next to the path. We don't bother her, and she's happy there. This part of the garden's just a nice lawn area, just a nice open space. In the grass, a couple of years ago I introduced yellow rattle. That's starting to do really good. So it was just your normal turf grass around the willow tree. Well, it used to be a willow tree. So I just thought I'd introduce a bit of, diversity in the structure of it. Yeah, we had a willow tree here, but just the way it was growing, it was only a matter of time before it just fell over. It was just the wrong tree in the wrong place. It really was. It was a shame to go. Wasn't an easy decision, but it just had to go. Got a nice tub on there with some nice bedding plants. And here I'm just trying not to cut this grass as much because you've got this lovely clover that's all coming through. So it'll be a shame to mow over that. When we first moved into the garden, this hedgerow was already here. As you can see, it's a hawthorn hedge. It's just got loads of ivy growing among it. It's absolutely fantastic for the birds. Great shelter. Just can't emphasise enough how good ivy is for wildlife. It's just absolutely fantastic. We have robins nesting in here. There was even a great tit that nested in here. Because the structure of it's so compact, a bird like a great tit can get in and nest. Here's another border just near the shed. As you can see, we've got all spaces here. We've still got a lot more plants to plant. Certainly not at full capacity, and I won't ever like to think that we are. So it's just really good that, we've got more plants to come. There's a lovely Aquilegia there. Cowslip, still flowering. Fatsia there. This is the first wildlife tower that I built. It's currently got stock doves nesting in it. I don't think we'll get the owls in it just because of where it's located really, but when we first moved into the house, this wildlife tower here did feel like it was fairly, far down the garden. But now that's fine by here, the stock doves need somewhere to nest. I've also made provision for small birds to get in, bats, and it just looks nice. Nice walk through. This is what we call the courtyard garden. This area just consists of raised beds and paving. It's just looking really nice at the moment. Everything we plant in here is for the bees and the butterflies. Nice hostas there. Ferns. Bit of garlic that Sue's growing. This is a really good structure for wildlife. All it is just logs cut at 2 inch, screwed onto a wooden background. But when you look up close, it's just full of cobwebs and loads of invertebrates, spiders get in there, and I have seen the birds, you know, just hopping about looking on it for a meal. It looks really effective as well. So I'd recommend doing that in a wildlife garden. If you've just got a bit of a dull area, it just really brightens up the place. Got a nice yellow euchera down there. Allium. Marigolds. Oh, this red campion. All these primroses looks really good in early spring. They've all just gone over now, but they just create a really nice covering. Here we've got Nepeta catmint. I'd really recommend this for a wildlife garden. It's a real no-nonsense plant. It's got a long flowering period. The bees love it. You can see it just cracks on. It's really good, and it'll sell seed. It's got a raised pond there with some goldfish in, multiplying every year. Nice circle patio. Here is the summer house. This is a lovely plant, Selenium. Absolutely gorgeous. We've just got lots of thyme, Verbinia. This is a really great plant for bees, is this Salvia. That's looking so good, is that? And this plant here is a variation of catmint. This is really good for the bees, is this. Here you've got the sea holly. Starting to come into flower. The bees absolutely love this. I love it so much they actually sleep on it. This plant here has blue globe thistles on the top, which is really good for the bees. So I'm not an expert on the plants. So if they've got a good value for wildlife, then they're welcome in this garden. Here we've got greater knapweed. Great for the bees. It can grow really large and flop all over. So what I do in early May, I give it a chop. And we've also got it on these supports. Don't know if you can see, but I've got some supports there that I just holds it up, keeps it in place, and it looks a lot nicer and tidier. A really good plant. This is the decking area. So a summer house. Lots of darts get played in there. But this is my favourite place to sit. This is our second wildlife pond, and this is the largest wildlife pond. But the amount of hours I sit here over the year, it's just absolutely fantastic. This pond is so good for great crested newts, really is. In early spring they give a great display. Just sit here and watch them. There's lots of great crested newts in here and smooth newts. This yellow flower here, that's monkey weep. That's really nice flowers, that. Here we've just got all bits of York stone, just great for amphibians just to get in and over winter. So yeah, lots of times sat here contemplating, just thinking, just brilliant. These borders here with the shrubs and the ivy, just great cover for amphibians, all sorts of wildlife. Nice little seat there. Wild carrot. As you can see, the ivy is really starting to establish on this fence, and this is what we want. We don't want to be able to see any wooden fence, just lots of covering of ivy and paracanthus. This is an absolutely beautiful plant, is this, Ceananthus. Look at that blue. The bees absolutely love it. You can just hear a hum. Absolutely fantastic. Can you hear that hum? Here's looking back at the second wildlife pond. This is the third wildlife pond that we've come across. Although it's the third one that you come across from the house, it's actually the fourth wildlife pond. As you can see, we've just got a bit of algae issues here, but we're working on it. It's an ongoing project, is this. But still, we've seen all the usual suspects in here, all your newts, water boatmen, pond skaters, whirligig. Look at this catmint here. Bees all over it. This paracanthus looks great. Here we've got the bog garden. I dug down about 18 inches here and I put a sheet of visqueen down, put a few puncture holes in it and backfill the soil on it. So this border here will retain the water for longer. So it's ideal for plants that love moist conditions. Got a Strantia here. Steel bean. And this is one of my favourite plants. It's just about to start coming into flower. It's called loosestrife. Has lovely pink flowers and it flowers for a long period as well, so it's absolutely fantastic. Here's a close-up of monkey weep. Great addition to the garden. It'll just self-seed everywhere. It's really nice and cheery. Got this log here. Just hoping to see a kingfisher perch on it one day. About 2 weeks ago we did have a kingfisher in the garden. This border here is what we call the big border, just because it's a big border. And it consists of shrubs and lots of plants dotted in between. All hopefully with a wildlife value. So it's just great to know that we've still got flowers that still aren't flowering just yet, but we've got it all to come. Oxeye daisies here. It's lovely, that smoke bush there. Wargelia, starting to go over a bit now. That's a lovely pink foxglove at the back there. And this plant here was my favourite last year, Philadelphus. Just the aroma of these flowers is just absolutely incredible. It just stops you in your tracks, it just smells gorgeous. Lovely green foliage as well, great addition to the garden. Fox and cubs. Buddleia. This here is what we call the mound. And this mound is the result of all the soil that has been dug out in the garden over the years with the ponds, fence posts and all other stuff. And what I did, I just piled it up in the garden rather than trying to get rid of it all the time. It was just too much of a job. We piled it up here and then we just thought later on what we'll do with it. And Sue and I came up with the idea of creating this retaining wall here, which holds all the soil in place. And then we've just levelled it out, put some nice topsoil on the top, and just started to plant it up. And it's looking really good at the moment. These geraniums here are absolutely loved by the bees. Verbena. And this is a star plant for me, yellow poppy. I really want to see this start self-seeding all over the place, because if you look at the poppy and the catmint in the background, it's a great contrast of colour, and that's what we're trying to create throughout the garden. This lovely contrast of colour, it's so striking. Also, the foliage on this yellow poppy is really nice. Lots of foxgloves there. Just going up onto the mound now. As you can see, we've still got places for more plants. But not if you can see, but just over there we planted some Phacelia as seeds and it's just starting to come up now. So we'll see how that goes. That's got great wildlife benefits. It's also great to dig into your soil after it's done. Here we've got a load of Eleniums just coming into flower. Salvia. Lavender, starting to look good. We've got a Lysimachia there, just in between all the Rudbeckia. This is one of my favourite plants. It's a Primula. There's lots of different types of Primula, but look at that, that is amazing. It's a young Amelanchier. This will be nice when it grows larger. As you can see, this catmint, the bees are all over it. Paracantha looks so good. About 3 years worth of growth there. Looking really good. Some more Philadelphus. Cowslips, Primula. Because this garden's long, it's 120 metres long by 9.3 metres. We've divided it all into sections in which we call rooms. So we always just try to create like a clear boundary between each of the rooms. So we planted this beech edge here, which is a great boundary. Looking really good. That's really good for nesting birds to get in. Provide some good shelter there. And now we're moving into my favourite part of the garden at this time of the year. This is what we call the meadow garden, for obvious reasons. Just looks so good this time of year. Lots of yellow rattle. That's really took a hold, is that? Oxeye daisies. Knapweed. Red clover, yellow rattle. Great contrast of colour. As you can see, if you have a meadow, it's really important to cut a path through the meadow, just the width of the lawnmower. It just looks so good on the eye. It looks managed, it's nice. Just got a seat there with little various holes drilled in the wood for bees. These stones here are a really good addition to the garden. I put these in last autumn, and all they are just York stones just stood up vertically, but they replicate gravestones. Reason being, I love old graveyards, old churchyards. Just absolutely fantastic places, and that's what I want to try and create here. I've got 3 of them in up to now, but I'm going to be getting more in the autumn and winter. So it's really going to start looking like an old graveyard in the future. Coming up to the compost heap now. Loads of biodiversity in there. Great addition to the garden as a compost heap. All the green waste all goes back into the garden to improve the soil, which is an absolute must. This is the bottom of the garden. This is what we call the owl garden. That owl tower there, wildlife tower, I built that over the winter of 21-22. It's got kestrels nesting in this side. There's 6 nesting chambers altogether in that tower. The kestrels are nesting on the north side, and barn owls are nesting on the south side. It's just absolutely amazing just watching them on the night time, coming out and hunting. So yeah, this garden, it's wild, but it's managed. And that's the 4th wildlife pond there. It's got a nice seating area there, but we don't really sit here that much because I don't want to disturb the barn owls and kestrels. Got another nest box there. The stock doves use that. Just saves them trying to get in the tower and nest there. They can nest in that box. So yeah, that's a tour of the wildlife garden. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I inspired you in some way just to create a wildlife garden of your own. Anyone can have a wildlife garden. It doesn't matter how small your garden is or where you live. You can always just provide habitat for wildlife. As I say, if you do the work, the wildlife will come. This wildlife garden just means so much to Sue and I. It just, you know, in these hard times that we live in, it's difficult for a lot of people, but for us to come out here and just be among nature and wildlife, it's just absolutely fantastic, and I would really recommend it to anyone. It's such a fantastic thing to do, and it'll not only benefit the wildlife, but will really benefit you as well. So thanks for watching, and I will do more updates of this garden. See you soon. Bye.